of that stuff happens in football teams as well. You know, a lot of these football teams, same stuff with the Pizzagate thing. Yeah, I know. Oh, we're filming, Slakia. Right? Slakia Babaka Shah. Just having a discourse, Babaka Shah. A lot more people are what? Waking up to the truth. So we're gonna flow with the spirit. It was a tough yesterday. Listen, tough just got bombarded with all them type of spirits, but we maintain through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. He's the one that strengthens us. Remember, our strength is in him. It's not of yourself, it's not of ourselves. Always remember that, right? The strength we have is not of ourselves. Listen, it's being made known, right? It's being made known now. Who's ready for the Lord and who ain't? Okay? It's being made known. Everything is coming to pass. Hold on just a minute. Everything is coming to pass. Prophecy. The hearts of men, which he was saying, Yahushua, for the downfall of many. So when Yahushua came on the scene, judgment was pronounced. Judgment was pronounced. I'm just happy to be here and still in my right mind. Too many people are cracking under pressure. Pressure, the Lord Yahushua is going to allow that to build us up. And make sure you're breathing heavy as well, because guess what? Your nervous system, that's what they're targeting, these demons, your nervous system. So just make sure you're breathing in, exhaling out of your nose, right? That's the best way to breathe. Remember, bro, there is a possibility that you could die. There's a possibility. These people, they're wicked, but trust in the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Teach this word, and everything will be revealed in due time. Everything. Okay? Don't. All right, back at you, Baba Kushar. We're going to get straight to it. I want to go to First Maccabees 1, and we're going to jump straight to verse 10. And they came out of Rem, a wicked root, Anthioucus, surname Epiphanes. So it says it. Anthioucus, surname Epiphanes. Now, Anthioucus Epiphanes, who was he? He was a wicked man. He was an Edomite. That's who Anthioucus Epiphanes was. And he ruled, remember, he had different dynasties. Right, go. You had, you had the Ptolemy, you had the Ptolemy. You had many different people, man. Ptolemy. You had the Greeks. You had different nations at that time. And it says, and there came of them a wicked root of Antiochus, surname Epiphanes, son of Antiochus, the king, who had been a hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Remember, because you had the Romans, you had Alexander the Great. I forgot all the name that the Seleucid dynasty, Ptolemy. They were all fighting for that land. The Ptolemy Empire was Romans in Egypt. They were fighting, and it tells you Antiochus Epiphanes was a hostage, right? And it says, and he reigned in the 130th and 7th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men. Wicked men in them days. Right? And it says, Baba Kishar, hold on just a minute. See if we can find that quickly. Right? This is going to give you the real understanding of what really happened. Right? It's in Maccabees as well. The real understanding of what really went down. And it says, and in those days there went out of Israel wicked men. Remember, you have wheat and tares mentioned in Matthew's. Key thing, wicked men. Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant Key thing, let us go and make a covenant, an agreement. And it says, let us therefore make an agreement, a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. So these men, there's a reason why they done that. There's a reason why they made that covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much trouble, much sorrow. So once they departed from the heathens are putting what? Pressure on them. So they thought, you know what? There's too much pressure. If we can't beat them, join them. You still have that going on today. Sellouts. It's still going to happen here today. Everything we're going to read is really going to break down the tactics of the enemy and how people have sold out. Probably 80% of people around you have sold their soul. So where does that leave the brothers? Quite lonely, but not lonely. We got the Lord. And in those days, it says, so this device pleased them well. When certain of the people were for forward herein, that they went to the king who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. So therefore, these men were given a license, a permit. There's men in the truth that are given a license. It's called the 501c3 charter. Bro, I don't get paid. I'm not a part of any organization. I'm not a part of no organization that's under the 501c3 charter, which is tax exempt. That's a gag order. So some of these men have sold out. They've sold out their congregation. If you're under the 501c3 charter, you've sold your soul. Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we had much sorrow. It says it. It says it. Brother, we've had much sorrow. Excuse me just a minute. Bear me just a minute. Much sorrow, man. Let me move this round here quickly. So this is what was happening, brothers. This is what was happening. Right? Moving this over here just for a minute. Nosy people, man. Just nosy. That's what we're going to start doing from now on. Sometimes we'll remove ourselves from these nosy people as well. Hold on just a minute. Removing myself from these people. I don't want them nowhere next to my energy, man. So bossy with it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna start doing from now. We're not entertaining no rubbish. We remove ourselves. Any foolishness now, removing yourself from it. Straight up, bro. Ain't no time for foolishness now. First Maccabees 1. So it says they were given a license. That's a permit. A permit by the enemy. There's a lot of congregations. They're in bed with the Romans. I've told you that. Like when Yahushua was on the scene, they were in bed with the Romans. Herod, taking deals. That means you can't call yourself a potential member of the elect if you're taking payouts from the enemy. Unfiltered, this truth is unfiltered, raw, unfiltered, uncut truth. Verse 12, so this device pleased them well. And you know why they done this? Because they didn't want to catch any more hell. Same thing that's going on today. People, they take the easy way out. No, we can't be like that, bro. That's cheating. You got to do it the right way. If any man want to be my disciple, he take up his cross and follow me. Follow him. There's going to be trials. There's going to be tribulations. But you follow Yahushua. When certain of the people were so forward herein, that they went to the king who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. It says license. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. So this is a place of exercise. Where was that gymnasium? The gymnasium. Just like today, what do you have? I was saying at the start of the lesson, what do you have? Nakedness. Half naked. That was all in Greek. Are they gone now? Are they gone now? Oh, thank God. We're going to go back now. See, that's what we do from now on, brothers. Listen. Start applying wisdom now. Yeah, they're gone now. You know, they send these idiots. But bro, we're moving different. 2026, we're moving different now. Different. We're not putting up with the same things as well. Hold on. This is the time for us to bring out this word. It's that time again. Yeah, we're moving different this time. No more nonsense now. The games are over. Playtime's over now. Playtime is over. Right? We're going to give you truth and uncut, filtered truth. Not what you want to hear, we're giving you what you need to hear. Wherefore they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem. And at this time, guess what there was at that time? Yeah, little boys. And also girls, little boys. And we know the Romans were very fond, at that time, they were very fond of dealing with boys, little boys. There was at that time, there was a lot of homosexuality happening at that time. And it says, and this is beautiful, I can see my aura on this, but I got a white aura. Can you see my aura behind me? Beautiful, that means I'm healthy and radiant. And it says, they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the custom of the heathen. Gymnasium. There was a lot of freaky stuff going on. A lot. And that still happens today. You even have politicians that like dealing with little boys as well. Because the Romans, guess what? They had a patriarch, man. They had the plebeians, which were the local common people. That was a freaky empire. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. They were sold. These people have sold themselves. You got to realize, you call it gang stalking, whatever. These are people that they've took the deal. They've took a deal. They've took a deal. They sold themselves to work mischief. This is why you get certain people that will be on your block, red, white, black car, and a lot of these people will be watching the person that is free. Because they have to do that because they sold their soul. To be a worker for Satan. To be used. So Satan can use them. So that's what he's using them as puppets. Puppets on the string. And what I'm reading is that it's called the Apocrypha. This is the Bible, by the way. They took this out for some reason. They took it out. But this is the Bible, Apocrypha. They called it the hidden book. It mentions it has the Maccabees. I'm reading from the Maccabees, which was a Jewish revolt against the Romans. And it says, now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he fought to reign over Egypt, that he might have dominion over two realms. So we're going to quickly go into more and pay attention to this. First Maccabees 1:36. For it was a place to lie in wait. Check this out. Verse 30. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city. He set it on fire. This is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. And pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. This man, that means he also built certain buildings. Antiochus was responsible for certain buildings and Vespasian. What is that? So they had what do you call it? Construction workers. Remember, they dealt with architecture as well, some of them, right? And it says, check this out, and these men, these so-called governors, guess what they had? They had links to the military. This is the Romans. Nothing is new underneath the sun. Nothing. Please pay attention to this. And it says, he set the walls, he set it on fire, he knocked the walls down. And it says that it was a place, check this out, pulled it down, but the women and children took their captive and possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall. And with a mighty towers made it a stronghold for them. So, slow down. There was a wall that was built. He knocked down the buildings and reconstructed it. Why? So he can put sinful people in that region as a hindrance to those that were trying to keep the law. This is the Maccabees. And it says they stored it with armor. I'm moving too fast. And when they put there in a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. Do you know why this is heavy? Because this exposes the program, what people call gang stalking or whatever. Have any of you had their account, right? You got people that are being moved into communities, towns, and these people all seem, not all, but most of them seem to be a part of a group, and they're wicked and they could be a part of their cult, and they're put in there. Why is that? To be a stumbling block to who? The elect. And they put them in a sinful nation, probably occultic members. All right, you know what? I'm gonna place you in this. I'm gonna give you free rent. Just stay here. When he comes out the house, watch him from your windows. Jump out the car and sit, bro. This is strategy. So for Antiochus to have to do this, he must have knew of war strategies. This is a strategy. They were knocking down the walls. Okay, let's let this woman and her husband walk past. It's alright, it's alright. So it was a fortified place for them to knock down the walls. These are war strategies. And it says, Baba Kishar, for it was a place to lie. Check this out. They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there. So they became a sore snare. Are you listening to this? It says they became a sore snare. To who? To the children of Israel. So they would have a flat over there. They would knock it down, place a flat there, place a flat there, put a watchtower there. So when he leaves, everything was being watched. And this was under Antiochus Epiphanes. This is history. This is, brothers, this is history. Okay? They stored it with armor and victuals, for it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary. What was the sanctuary? The temple where we were worshipping. This sounds similar to what people would call gang stalking, right? So called. They were in every place. They were positioned there as a hindrance. Certain, but you gotta understand, the enemy puts people around you to be a hindrance also. Have to be spiritual. And it says, and they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. They had to flee. Have you ever heard people saying, you're living somewhere, move on, get out? Those people were put there. I've told you this. They're put there. You have people that live in do you want to borrow my house? I forgot that program where they exchange houses, right? That stuff goes on in society. About I'm gonna live in your house for a week, and you can live in my house for a week. We're gonna swap over. You can look after my children, I'll look after your children. There's a program on that. Bro, this is how this thing is done. See, I told you, everything I talk about is scriptural. Everything. 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 These are tactics, and these are highly sophisticated tactics to watch someone. Let me slow down. Let me slow down, Mama Kisha. And it says, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers. I can speak from experience. I've seen people come off the trains, move into different towns that they don't really belong to, and practice witchcraft and try to be a stumbling block. And it says, this is why you have certain cars, right? Just looping. Just looping. And they're not even from London. I've told you about this, but I don't really want to go. Some of these people, they're not even from London. They might come into London and come out the other way, which I'm not going to go too much into that, but that's another topic. And it says, insomuch that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. So they had to leave. So therefore, they had to flee. So some of you brothers, you may feel like you're being pushed out of your environment. Some of you. Bro, this is real. And it says, check this out, check this out, check this out. In so much the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them. And the habitation of strangers became strange to those who were born in her. And her own children left her. So over time, it became really strange. But hold on, this ain't the same place where we were once worshipping now. People that have money and have connections to, which people in politics, listen, I don't want to go too much into the whole politics thing, but if you have people within Westminster, are you telling me none of these men, conservatives or what do you call it, what's that, Labour, you telling me none of them have ties to the army? They have ties to the army. So if they want a certain area, a certain dynamic in that area or agenda, guess what? They have the money and the funding to knock down that building, knock down that one, and build another one. And we're going to put the people that we want in there. That's why when people talk about that migrant crisis, that's all a distraction. Migrants don't come in unless they want them in. Are you fucking stupid? With this sophisticated technology, you think, bro, these people are smart, right? The people that they put when you enter it, they're smart. So all that is flawed anyway. Oh, the migrant crisis. The reason why they want the migrants in because it's cheaper, it's slave labor, i.e. trafficking. But let's stay on topic because we've spoken about that. Oh my gosh. And it says, in so much the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, and had been to her a glory, her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into what? Mourning, and her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote his whole kingdom, where all should be one people. So what he was trying to do here was it was similar to a new world order. All should be one people, all, just one people. You see, he was doing his own thing. All should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So come on, come join me. Go leave your laws, join me. I got the money right here. I got the, shekels or whatever you want to call the denarius. And it says, check this out. Everyone should leave his law, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. They all agreed. Some agreed out of fear, because Antiochus, he was brutal. Some of them just agreed out of fear. Yeah, many of the Israelites consented to his religion. The man had a religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. This stuff happens. We just went past winter now. We're still in winter, moving into spring. What do you think happened in winter? The people that serve Satan, right? What do you think they had to do during winter time? What do you think they had to do? They had to partake in rituals. Yeah, have you ever heard of what's it called? What calendar is it? Sanhim? Is it the Sanhim calendar? The satanic calendar? These people do rituals on certain months and days. And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. Profaning the Sabbath. Remember, these men were put in, the buildings were knocked down. Anthioucus, strongholds, buildings. And you see that today. A lot of these estate buildings now, look how they're built. A lot of these new buildings are buildings for community watch. This was your equivalent of community watch. There's community-based agents. Their whole thing is to basically guard the community, be gatekeepers and watch. Okay? To watch. This is all scriptural. And to snitch, to be a snitch on anyone that's not complying. Snitching is the new in thing now, being a snitch. Ever since the COVID, snitching has become popular now. Ever since the COVID. Oh, if they're not sticking to the free man rule. If they're not sticking to the free man rule, we're gonna have to snitch on you. So if they're not sticking to the free man rule, Baba Kishore, what's gonna happen? You could ring them up. Ring them up. Phone the police. Oh, there's 3 people in the house. There's only a 2 rule only. So now we're in a society of snitching. Oh, this was happening during the COVID. And I believe people were getting, something happened during that COVID. The 5G towers went up as well. London is the most watched place on the earth. Everything's being watched. Everything's being monitored. Excuse me. And it says, there's so much more. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that it should be one people. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days. So what he was telling them is basically, forsake your God and act like a heathen. Same thing again today. It's the same thing. Revelation 30, we're going to read that. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. It says it. And pollute and the holy people. Set up altars. Bro, I've seen this. I'm living in a place right now where have any of you been living in a place and you may have a neighbor or upstairs neighbor and they're practicing witchcraft? Setting up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrificing swine's flesh, pork, because that pleases the demons that they worship. And unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. Whoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. See, that's why some of them just joined. They didn't want to lose their lives. You're telling me you don't have people that are like that today? This thing is about power. You got people that have enough money. They don't give a shit whether you live or die. They're like, you better do what I say because I have the money. This is how London is ruled, man. And to the end that he forget the law and change the ordinances, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment. In the self-same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. This was a command. He wasn't playing about. Antiochus Epiphanes wasn't playing about. He was like, listen, I'm sending letters to every region that I'm ruling right now, and you better do what I say. When many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit every one forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places. So certain brothers, this is why we move around as well. Where there's any demonic stuff, remove yourself from that, bro. Remove yourself from that demonic stuff, man. Don't be a part of that. And it says, where many of the people, right, were gathered unto them, to wit everyone forsook the law and committed evils in the land. And it says they flee for secure. Now, when you read verse 54, now in the 15th day of the month, Casli, in the 140th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had read in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. They were burning the books. They were burning the Torah. This was bad. So in other words, they became Satanist. They sold themselves to do evil. Same thing's happening again today. Right? And there's more. And it says, oh my gosh, and many had rent them in peace, wheresoever was found with the book of the testament. Or if any consented to the Lord, the king's commandment was that they should be put him to death. Thus to die by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now the 5th and 20th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised, and they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that they had circumcised them. This is what they were doing. This is what they were hanging children upside down. And any child that was known to be circumcised, they were punishing them for that. Wherefore they choose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was a great wrath upon Israel. So do you see now? Do you see? Now the reason I read this, because now this gives you a broader idea of what happens today. Same thing. Nothing is new underneath the sun. So now when you see these tactics, you might have a red, white car, black car. Now don't be paranoid. And these cars might be in your community. Red, white. Remember, they do things by color codes. And a lot of these people, what you call informants, and they're part of covens and covenants. That's what they're a part of. Right? But they sold out. Whether it was through bribery, whether they were bribed, blackmailed, intimidated, or they got sick and tired of suffering, so they just gave up. But us, we're not going to do that. Lord willing, we're not going to do that. Because we serve a higher power, and his name is Yahweh Shai, and he's given us authority. And we got to know who we are in him, so the enemy can't fool you. Take that power back, man. I'm saying it. Take that power back. Don't let the enemy take that power. Everything he stole, we're taking back. Everything that the devil stole, and he has stole a lot of things as well. Right? He stole a lot of things from us. We're taking that back now. The brothers that are in the truth, you ain't got Satan, right, phoning you up, telling you, put on red today, and tomorrow, wear yellow. You don't have Satan in your ear telling you that. You don't have him telling you, get in the car, Stay there until this person walks past. Then open the door. Make sure he sees you. Get his attention. You don't have no one telling you that. You got to understand the freeness you have. There's a reason why these people envy you, some of them. Because you're flipping free. Their whole job is you're waking people up out of the kingdom of darkness. So guess what their whole job is to? Is to stop that. Because you're free. This word is freeing people. So what we just read there, they consented, right, to him. And today, guess what they're going to start doing? Revelation 13. This is why they come with all their noise campaigns. They're told to do that. They're told to make noise. They're told to say something. They're told to scratch their head. This is demons. This is demons that are working through people, through the occult. Because the occult is on the rise as well. They want this system to be one big jumbo pot of occultism. A lot of they're a part of the occult. That's why they rock the blue and the red. They're occult colors. Sometimes it would be other colors as well, but mainly it's blue and red. And they do it because that's color, what they call it, color sensitization. So they will use different colors because it's associated with different responses. These are military tactics. The army give them tactics because if anyone knows about that, it's the army. So you got to know about this program. Have to know about it. The army runs it. Talk about MK Ultra. Hi, you're right. I like that hat. It's a nice hat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's comfy.
yeah.
You want to lend it to me?
No, I'll keep it on.
All right. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Sure. So it's the military that runs that. The different color codes. The red, the blue. You're gonna see red cars. You're gonna see blue cars. No, you're gonna see mostly red. Let's talk about the program. You're gonna see red. You're gonna see white. You're gonna see black. These are like the Masonic colors. Remember, it's the Masons. It's the lodges, and it's the cults. Is what the cults, right? And it's ran. The program is ran by military complex. That's who it's ran by. So this is like a pyramid scheme. The Masons, they're the ones that put people in the community. The Freemasons. The cults, they're the ones that gather information and spread rumors and do the witchcraft. They're the ones that are moved in to the buildings. You're gonna see a lot of things. It's all a part of the program. They've taken the beast. They're down with the New World Order. They're down with them. You gotta understand, bro. This is why, bro. What pressures, bro? They gave up. Guess what? They went through the same thing you went through. They went for the same thing. You know, Satan joking in their faces and all that. They went through the same thing. But they're not going to tell you that. They know because they went through the same thing. But guess what? Guess what happened to them? They gave up. They gave up. Some committed suicide. Right? Yeah, I had a friend and this friend he just committed suicide. That's why that's not going to happen to you if you believe in your Yahushua. It's not going to happen to you. Because to me, that's not my world. So wherever someone brings it, that's not my world. It's theater. Satan, he has a theater. And the earth is a stage. But the Lord's coming to take over that. Because this is his stage. This is his setting. Nothing don't happen unless the Lord sanctions it. You're going to see the red cars, white cars, black cars. Apparent, these are some of these people. I'm telling you about all the program. Some of them are human traffickers, because there's trafficking that happens in this program. Some of them are just regular civilians that go to work, but they get paid based on what they do. We're gonna go to Proverbs as well. Before we go to that, Revelations 13 and 16. That's gonna be the next part of them forcing the chip on you, the RFID chip, digital ID. They want that. Without this ID, they're not going to be able to buy and sell. So this is what it's speeding to. So back on the program, the people that are so called, I hate even using that term, gang stalking, mostly call it racketeering, which is money being funneled and so forth. And everything else runs into that as well. Businesses, which are run by what you call InfraGard. So the InfraGard acts as a backing to every company. So you may be in a marketplace, you may be in a city. You see all these stores, these businesses. InfraGard is a backing to it. Oh, you got any trouble? Security, this, that. So you even got businesses that can get you what's the word? Somewhat counseled by InfraGard. And the InfraGard works with different what? Organizations within the military. Like a racket, it's like a racketeering thing. So just know, yeah, of course, there's money funded into this. Every business deals with InfraGard, man. Every business. So when these things are happening, you have to analyze it and don't get offended. The whole world is being gaslit by Satan. The whole entire world. It's not just you. You thinking it's just you. Now, the reason why you may be so-called targeted more than everybody else, because you're able to see and you're not easily to be controlled. That's why it's more with you. You might have 50 people watching you. Because you're the hard target. That's why. So we're telling you how this goes down. We're telling you. Right? And you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to be going certain places. Someone may pop out. You're going to have people popping out of corners. Like, wow, how did that person just come out of that corner? You may have a driveway, right? It has two ends. You're going to have a car going that way, a car going left, and a car going straight. This is portal knowledge. When they're doing that, they're trying to open up demonic portals. These people are being taught these things by who? Their former lodgers. Now, do the Masons, do they know certain stuff? Yes, they do. They're taught about that, how the body works, how the mind works, about outside sources. Esoteric is outside knowledge. They're taught this. Isaiah 14. They're taught these things, bro. But what they have to do when they join, they have to partake in rituals. They have to do their rituals, man. They have to do these damn rituals, man. But the gates of hell shall not prevail against Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. They have to do their rituals. They have to. If they don't do their rituals, they're not getting what they need to get. The world is it's not a safe place. It's not a safe place. Hold on. Just giving you what you need to know. So I'm just giving you what you need to know. They have to partake in them rituals. So now you're gonna have more people practicing witchcraft because that is Freemasonry. It's witchcraft. So they have to partake. If they don't partake in it, they're not a part of the club. And that's what they're trying to send. You know, the brothers that are in power, don't call yourself targeted. Don't call yourself that. The brothers that are in power, guess what they're trying to send? That's what they're sending your way. Witchcraft, hexes, spells. This is being done. You're speaking to someone, you're listening to someone that has experience. That's what's being done. That's what's being sent our way. But Isaiah 54:17, but no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. They're also using something called V2K. V2K is voice to skull technology, which the so-called gang stalkers, that's what they're relayed messages. That's what is being relayed. They have a little headset, right, in the air, and they're being relayed messages. What to do, what to say. That's how they operate. It's a hive mind technology. This is hive mind technology. They're all connected. Every one of them are connected. Every one of them are connected. You see what else we got, right? Let's see what else we got, Mama Kisha. I lost my train of thought. It's like I lost my train of thought. So we're in that time. We got to be stable. Mentally stable. Okay. Go on. Hey, people are not the same, but you're dealing with computer programs. People that are robots, NPCs, computer programs. Different times now. We're living in some different times. So you better get with the program. When I'm talking about program, I'm talking about the Lord's program, right? There, you okay? You alright? Oh, good shot, man, good shot. You better get with the Lord's program and counsel that other stuff. Well, because you got the women now. You know they send the honeypots. That's nothing. You're gonna get women as well that are gonna be sent your way. Honeypots, right? And so forth. The honeypots are women that you could be in a relationship with, but she's sent. What else do you want to know? They got honeypots as well, right? They sent Jezebels, succubus. Bro, what else do you want to know about this program? See, they get angry when I'm telling you about this. Because like, no. They're like, shut up. Stop talking. This is the program. This is the program. Let's see what else we got. Alright, so I need to just calm down. And I want to give you some tips as well. Again, make sure you're not rushing. Make sure also you're taking your time. Because when you're rushing, guess what's happening? You're not thinking properly. And they know if you're rushing, what's that going to cause? It's going to cause you to be predictable because you're not thinking. So sometimes it's good to stop, think, oh, where am I going to go next? Think things out. Don't rush. Don't make a decision based on the flesh. Because that's what Satan wants you to do. Do things, move according to your flesh. That's what he wants you to do. Scriptures talk about the Holy Spirit. Moving by the Holy Spirit. And then there's a lot of energy aspects involved as well. Energy harvesting. They try to harvest your energy, narcissists, suck that up. Right? I'm telling you, bro, it's the program. It's the matrix, man. It feeds on dark energy. That's what it feeds on, dark energy. Anyway, let's get back to business. And I'm going to shut off soon because I need to reserve that. Brother, start getting out in nature. There's going to be directed conversation. And this conversation is going to be concerning you. It's going to be concerning some of the things you've done. Why? Because these people have familiar spirits. Let's go to that. So you're also going to hear conversations, about you, about what you were doing during that day. Or if you with your family, like, hold on, you said something to your family about how did that meal taste? And someone says in a conversation, how did that meal taste? So these people also have a knowledge of some of the things you're doing. You know why? Because some of your family may be a part of that same program. So some of these people, they also have access to your family. So if they have access to your family, when you're speaking to your family could relay a message back to them. These people, Satan is trifling. Trifling. That's why, some people, even certain family, you might even need to cut off. You might need to. This is like the Matrix, right? Body hacking. Satan's jumping into their bodies, using them. Listen, whatever you need to know, this is what I'm here to do. They'll be looking at each other, nodding their heads, giving each other eye symbols, and they're communicating with each other, man. Demonically. Let's just make sure that we're not doing that. We're not doing what they're doing. Because that's not going to get them saved. That's going to get them destroyed. Real talk. See what else we got. Oh yeah, so V2K, which is some type of energy weapon where they can see what you're doing. Oh yeah, they didn't tell you about the energy weapons that they also use as well. They've got certain brothers on what you would call a neural monitoring program where you're being broadcasted in your household. And this broadcasting is also shared, apparently is shared with other people within that community. Shared. So when you're taking a dump, excuse my language, or you're eating, that's being seen on this neural monitoring. And it's also what? Harvesting energy. And they're not the people that are doing this, they're not reptilians, they're demonic, they're Satanists. They're nasty ass Satanists. So this happening, you're being broadcasted in your home. Some of your homes are being tapped, right? They tap it when you're not home. They're tampering with things. They send people in, the witches, warlocks, sorcerers, try to put spells on you, try to harm you or do some juju. That's what's happening. But you're still here, right? You're still here and you still have faith. So what does that say about the Lord Yahushua? He's with us, right? They have people right under mind control. Their brains are cracked. MK Ultra. Quickly go to Rome under MK Ultra. And they'll be trying to send sometimes it's pre-recorded messages to your retinal cortex. So while you're in your household, you got people, neighbors, that are under mind control and they're trying to send you voices through your retinal cortex. Well, can I prove it? Yeah, I can. Or they could do that for the satellite dish. They can do that. But they're not going to admit it, because if they were to admit it, then they would have to admit how wicked they are. But this is going on, and people know this is going on. Some of them. So a lot of their brains are cracked already. Their brains are cracked already. They're gone. Now, as for us, this is how we renew our mind. Yeah, they're under MK Ultra. You see them quickly running. See them running and going here and looking at that person, looking over their shoulder, waving to the handler, the cough. They do that stupid fucking coughing out demons. And another thing they do is the spitting. You go, which in other words they mean fuck you when they do the spitting. They rub their heads when they don't know what to do. They rub their head. So they rub the eye. Right? When they're standing, one hand behind, they be leaning up, one foot up. When they're leaning somewhere, one foot up. Say if they're in a flat, they have one foot up. Right? Sometimes they tie their shoelaces. You know when they tie their shoelaces? Like, I'm done with it now. I'm done with it. Right? What else do? They do. There's a lot of tactics. This is all demons, bro. Communicating with each other. These are all codes. Remember, the demons, they do things in codes. And I didn't even realize when I was in the world, I was doing that stupid coughing stuff as well. I didn't even realize it. Certain brothers were gangstalkers back in the... And you don't even realize it. They do a lot of things, man. They do the coughing. They do the spitting, which means fuck you. They do a lot of tactics, man. Or if you see them, they try to get the bin, right? With the rubbish in the bin. And they try to chuck it in the bin. Like, yeah, get rid of you. This is all this is spiritual warfare. This is spiritual warfare. Oh yeah, they're rev engines as well. If they're driving, they're rev the engines. Rem, to let you know they're there. To try give you a sense that yeah, we know you're there and we want to dominate you. And another thing they do, they slam the car door. Slam! Slam! That's demons. That's someone that don't have no self-control. These are all the tactics of the enemy. But the gates of hell shall not prevail. For the spirit and power of Yahushua, he is our fortress. What else do you want to know? Oh, sometimes they do that laughing. Sometimes they laugh around you. They do a little laugh. And that's to make you feel a certain way. So they do that. They got their fake laughs as well. And so forth. But a lot of the time it's nervous laughter. Right? Because they're really more scared of you than you should be scared of them. There's a lot of tactics that they use. What else do they use? They also use prams as well. Remember, you have the children's organization that are called someone told me they were called the Demule branch. And the Demule branch is basically a child's organization that is basically into what? Witchcraft. So you also got children that are part of this program that are also putting witchcraft upon you as well. So, well, trying to put witchcraft upon you. That's the program. It's the program. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's very witchy. It's very, very witchy, right? When they're all told to go one way, all go to the left, they all go to the left. When they're all told to go to the right, they go to the right. It's hive mind. It's hive mind. Listen, they use the pravs, they use children. Sometimes they have children torturing people, and they're also taught how to torture people through phones. And the way they're able to torture you through phones is by tethering. So if you got your phone on, they're tethering on that, and you would know because the bar is going up or your phone is heating up. So they're trying to torture you through their phones by emitting radiation. I'm not lying. Right? So many different things. They have a neighbor. They have one car that comes in, one car that goes out. Car that pulls up on the driveway. That's all technology. Revelations 13 and 16. But I know that you may say, how do I overcome it? We have to be in the word. Because if you're in the words, the enemy's limited on what he can do. That's why when they be around you, sometimes they'll be blowing, what's that thing, the tree blower, to blow the leaves and all that, the leaf blower. They use that. They use construction workers. They use UPS, Prime, Amazon. That's a huge one. They use these people, bro. This is like, it's a program. They use whoever's that's not in the word can be used. Let's go to Romans 12 and 2. And do not be conformed to this world. Love this. Be not conformed to this world. Powerful. If more people knew this, they'd be like, what? Does it really say that? And do not be conformed to this world. We don't need to conform to this world. This is Paul speaking. No, you need to do it this way. Don't go against the establishment. Be not conformed to this world. To the ways of this world. Because the way of this world, they have rules, they have principles. But if the principles don't line up with the scriptures say, then you're not supposed to conform to it. People just follow blindly. It's like they don't question nothing. They just follow. We're supposed to question things, man. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That word for transform means metamorphoso. So our minds are supposed to be transforming. That word for trans means change. That word formed means form into image. You're going to have joggers. You're going to have joggers. You're going to have runners. You're going to have fake joggers. You're going to have runners. You're going to see a lot of stuff concerning this program. You're going to see a lot of stuff concerning this program. A lot. You're going to see a lot. You're going to have planes. I know this sounds mad. You're going to have planes that are stalking you directly over your head. Directly. How are they able to do that? You know how they're able to do that? You have a bio footprint. Everybody has a unique, I hope I'm not moving too fast. Everybody has a unique, what do you call it? Bio signature. And the elect, their bio signature is different from everybody else's. Everybody's. So some of us have a bio signature. And it's a unique one. Right? And that plane, that's not just any plane. What's that? That's a propeller plane. That's a spy plane. That's a spy plane. That's a spy plane. That's FBI, DHS. That's the army. Bro, there's big money. There's big money in this, man. That propeller plane it's just straight from the barracks. It's an army base, man. Right? Spy plane. From the Navy. Brother Kishore. It's a program. So, brothers, listen. We're already doing some certain things, man. Ex-army, I've told you, the ex-army, they're the ones that run this. They're the ones that are running this program right now. The ex-army. Navy. The Navy, Mama Kusha. Thank you, Mama Kusha. The Navy. You're flipping strong. Let's tell the truth. Give yourself just a little tap in the back. You're strong. Most people can walk a week in your shoes, let alone a day. You're strong. Because that type of stuff don't get sent for anyone. Only those that are kind of moving and doing things. That was a propeller plane. That's like the spy plane. That's the plane that's mapping out your brain as well. And that propeller plane, guess what it can do? It has radar systems that can see through the sea if someone's lost. They're mapping, and another thing, they're mapping out your brain as well. The vehicles, the vans that you may see vans coming outside your house, blue vans, white vans, red vans, that transit. These are the vans that are basically control the technological side of it. Contractors. They work with EMF. So the EMF is to lower you. Lately they've been trying to lower my energy. Lower it. That's done through frequencies. I hope I'm not moving too fast. Let's go into the scriptures, Romans 12. And the renewing of your mind. So guess what? Renew your mind by staying in the scriptures. No MK Ultra, no frequencies can bend your mind if your mind is rooted on the Lord Jehovah Shai. Your mind has to be transformed. So they're also trying to lower our energies, because some of us, we have a signature that is so high. They're not going to tell you that. I don't know what they've seen. You don't know what they've seen. Bro, they could have they study people. From young, they knew who you were. From young. And the elect, they're different. They have a different, bro. Your body signature is not like everybody else's, because the elect have a different. They have the DNA of the Messiah. Some of you have the DNA of prophets, and that's no wonder why they're watching you, because they know one day you're gonna metamorphose into incredible. Just side joke, you're gonna metamorphose into incredible Hulk. They know that. They're trying to keep you away from your power. You don't know what they've seen on these monitoring devices, which they do use. They're mapping out your brain. They're mapping out your thought patterns. That's why I say, when you're doing things, don't react. Yeah, certain people are told to come around you because they're mapping you out. Your response, your triggers, so they can later on use that against you. That's all conditioning. That's all social conditioning. Psalm 64. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, who bend their bow and shoot their arrows, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. They accomplish a diligent search. They have think tanks, bro. They have scientists. They have high-level psychologists that study your dynamic and what do you do when you're put under pressure? How do you act? What do you result to? They have these people. You think, bro, they have these people. Because the psychologists, they're a big part of the program as well. Psychologists. They're the ones that tell the other people what to do, what may work. This is heavy. This is heavy stuff, man. This is heavy stuff. Very heavy. Yeah, people's brainwaves are being manipulated. And you're being monitored by neighbors and certain people within also the medical field as well. The latest, what have you latestly heard about that doctor? Near enough 100 people. What was he doing? What was he doing? A bodge job on him. This doctor, high level doctor, on 90 children, about 90 or 80 children, was harming them. Even the medical field's corrupt, man. That's why I try to look after myself to the best of my ability. Listen, your medical field is involved in the program. Highly. Highly. Because guess what? You're being hacked by people that pull up in vans. So all that biohack information, They could, if they wanted to, they could give that to the nurses. They can give that to the nurse. I've seen it. One nigger, this one nigger man, that was putting up in a van. He was trying to get some readings, and this guy was getting mad because I wasn't bending to his reality. And this man was shouting, saying, "I know the system. I know the system." They use these fucking niggas as well that work within construction, and they try to hit you with waves in their homes, then say you're crazy. I know all about this program, bro. All about it. How you can manipulate brain patterns with electric. They've been using this for years. They've been doing it for years. This ain't nothing new, right? You could change someone's, even their biological DNA with this technology. All of that. Because your body is mostly electric. Mostly your heart, bro. And your spine and your brain. Right? Yeah?
Still here.
Yeah, of course. I have a job to do, innit? I've got to teach this Bible, man. It's better than just not doing anything. You know what I mean? So you gotta teach this truth. Yeah, he was just jesting. He was like, still here. Yeah, I have to be here to teach this word, man. You don't let no one throw you off. Oh, not always. He said, still, yeah, see, don't let no one throw you off. They're gonna try to get in your head. These are all spirits. Brother Kishan, listen. These are all spirits. They're gonna say things. They're gonna say things to try and get into your head. Just pretend, they don't even exist. If it's that much of a bad thing, remember, this is your reality. The Lord said, don't let nobody shape your reality. No one. This is your reality. Don't let no these demonic bots shape that. I'm talking too much now in terms of I need to let the scriptures come out. We're in that time. We are in that time. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Like, get done, get done, get done. In other words, get a makeover. In other words, let Satan destroy you. That's what they're saying. They're ungodly, man. We're not supposed to be a part of the ungodly. They're ungodly. And the scripture says, fret not because of evildoers, for evildoers shall be cut off. So eventually they're gonna have to be cut off because of that evil doing. They're gonna be cut off. The Lord ain't dealing with that. Right? They're also gonna have to be cut off. Okay? So it's the military that runs the whole thing, the army. Apparently it's ex-army. Then you have police on a lower level because the army controls the police on a lower level. Then the police, they run it ground level. They just, cover things up. Then you have the Masons that also, they're the ones that get people together and so forth. Then the cult members. The cult members are the ones that do the V2K, spread rumors and do the witchcraft. Then you have the church groups and so forth. And yeah, and that's your system. That's your system. See what else we've got. That's why you have to be strong and know who we serve, man. Have to know who we serve. So let's see what else we got. And I'm going to shut off because I want to reserve. Brothers need to reserve that energy, man. So we're going to go to Revelations 11 and 18. We give you thanks, O Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was and who is to come, because you have taken your great power and reigned, and the nations were angry, and your wrath has come. And the time of the dead that they should be judged, but you should reward your servants, the prophets and the saints, and those who fear your name, small and great. I should destroy those who destroy the earth. Those that fear your name, small and great, I should destroy those that destroy the earth. They're destroying the earth, man. So the Lord's going to destroy them. That's what the Lord's going to have to do. And the saints. Who are the saints? The Israelites, man. Those that repent. They're gonna be the ones that the Lord saves. And Lord's gonna get rid of this funny business, man. All this funny behavior, man. Satan's waiting, but Satan's gonna be waiting a hell of a long time. Because I'm gonna continue, Lord willing, we're gonna continue what we're gonna do. And we're not getting weaker, we're getting stronger. So if anyone thinks they're gonna break, oh, we're gonna break him, better think again. Because if the Lord Yahushua be for us, who can be against us? Nobody. See the mentality we gotta have? If the Lord be for us, who can be against us? We gotta equip our minds with that knowledge. Equip yourself with that knowledge. Don't let no one get up in your head and dictate to you your reality. Hmm? When the temple of God was opened in heaven and the ark of his covenant, right, was seen in his temple. So this is the ark of a covenant in the heavens, man. Read it again. When the temple of God was opened in heaven, there's a temple in the heavens. And the ark of his covenant was seen in his temple, and there were lightnings, noises, thunderings, and earthquake and great hell. Whew. Why, Yahweh Shai, to what Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shai. Remain that connection. Don't let no one sever that connection. Mhm. So we went to that. And I would like to reserve energy as well. So we're not going to go too long because I would really like to reserve energy. That's another thing. The energy, currency, your time, who you're amongst, company you keep. All this matters now. We're in the last days. All this matters. The people that you're around, what you're giving your energy to, all this matters. We can't neglect these things. We can't neglect these things. All of it matters. The people you're talking to, the things you're eating, the things we're letting into our minds, right? The thoughts we're having, all this matters now. Because this is going to dictate, well, what's going to happen. So we're going to shut off on this Revelation 22 and 12. And behold, I'm coming quickly. And my reward is with me, to give to everyone according to his work. I am the Alpha, Omega, the beginning, the end, the first and last. Every man's going to be given according to his work on earth. Blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, may enter through the gates into the city. But outside are dogs, sorcerers, sexual, immoral, murderers, idolatrous, and whoever loves and practices a lie. I, Yahweh, have sent my angel to testify to you these things in the churches. I am the root and offspring of David and the bright and morning star. So what are we got to do? Continue to have the faith. Keep his ways. Keep the Lord's ways. And pray to Yahweh that he really, really, he delivers us and, keeps us protected and delivers us out of this cesspool, man, because this place, this ain't the kingdom of heaven right now. It's within us, and we're bringing it up on earth. This is why we're dealing with such heavy level warfare and demons and meat suits, because we have this truth. I hope this was edifying. I'm going to shut off here, and until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.